I'm very grateful that you've taken the time to do this with
Sure.
me. So if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, you and Paul, that would be a great start for us.
Crystal, and my husband is Paul. I'm 50 at this point. I don't mind sharing. We're kind of maybe towards end of the career. Paul's a little older than I am. I've been a consultant in higher education for a number of years. Paul is an engineer, so he works at some of our aerospace companies here in the Valley.
When you decided that you needed some help, kind of what were you and Paul looking for financially that you wanted to improve in your life?
We met at the Basis High School presentation that you did for parents getting into college funding. And my daughter at the time was a junior. We were looking at that big college investment, trying to, figure out the best ways to do that. And so I attended your financial seminar, went home and talked to Paul, and I'm like, she was great. She spoke to this level of I could understand it. And it was just really good advice, things that I'd never thought of before. So, I was very excited to contact you for college planning. So that's actually how we found you before we started working with you as a financial advisor.
Were you surprised that college planning really plays such a big role in your overall financial planning?
Yes. So I was pretty singularly focused on trying to just get through the college funding. And I really wasn't doing very much in the retirement planning. I was kind of just doing that minimum 401k match. I was kind of in the mindset college first and then retirement, which I learned is really not the way to do it. When we first started working with you, Paul and I were newly married. He had done a much better job with retirement savings and all of that. And so we really were looking on how to blend those two bank accounts, those two retirement plans. And that was something that you really helped us a lot out, because with some of the age differences, we weren't sure, where we should go on some of it. So that was really good advice that we had early on.
Where do you feel you're at now compared to, when we first met? And my goodness, I think it was 7-8 years ago.
Well, my daughter graduated college. Paul and I are close to retirement. And I think one thing that you've really done for us is really educate us on different opportunities, and I wouldn't call them risks, because we're definitely, I'm sure, one of your more cautious clients. But as you've taught us, there's risk that's tolerable, and there's risk that actually has a lot of advantages to it. So as we've become more comfortable and really diversified our investing, that's helped us quite a lot. Yeah, that's been really an interesting discussion going back and forth with you on what we can do and what we're comfortable doing.
What would you tell somebody else about working with me and what what that experience would look like?
Sure. I think that I would actually bring younger, new investors to you, as well as people maybe in Paul and I's position. For newer younger investors, maybe the better way to say it, it's really the educational aspect. I have referred people to you, and I kind of look at it as you have the heart of a teacher.
Thank you.
If you would describe yourself that way, but you've really helped us understand. And I think that is the most valuable financial advice, even if it's something that we choose not to invest in. It's understanding, purposefully choosing what works best for us.
I'm so glad. I always say, my job is to show you what's possible, and your job is to implement. So,
right.
And then lastly, Crystal, is there anything that you think I could have done better to help you along with this process?
I think the pacing that you've given us has really been a gift. Maybe people would feel like, oh, she should have told us about cryptocurrency 5 years ago, or we were not ready. That would have scared us to death. I think the pacing has been really nice for us. It's possible with other investors, they may want you to show them everything and then, like you were saying, let them decide. But I think as you got to know us so well, you really tailored that to us. So I found that very personable, and that would be exactly what I would like to see in any advisor.
And it has been my joy and pleasure working with you and Paul. And yeah, as you know, I love what I do, and it's because of clients like you that I get to keep doing it. So thank you so much.